Hello, it's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome. This video is about Mercury in a sign Sagittarius. While Mercury is in Sagittarius, it is going to retrograde. If you are in America, there will be voting while Mercury is in a sign Sagittarius. It retrogrades November 7th. We vote November 5th, but this could affect the voting process as well. I will talk about the politics, especially Trump and Kamala, and how this will affect them. So you will have predictions. You will also have predictions about yourself. I am going to do horoscopes. Tarot might happen. No promises there. I've been doing tarot a lot, but it is Scorpio season, so that might happen. But if you are thinking, what is Mercury in Sagittarius? What is the overall wording of it, or key themes? You're talking about broadening your horizons, a lot of travel. You are talking about being overly optimistic in a good way, in a positive way. Religion, your ethics, your beliefs. What else are we? Oh, honesty, okay, and looking over details. All that is Mercury in retrograde. So before I even get started with everything, please do your due diligence as a YouTube watcher and subscribe and like. Please put a little purple heart emoji. That will help me. I have on purple today. So let's go with purple heart emojis. That will help me out so much. It would get more people to watch my videos because I enjoy doing what I am doing. And yeah, that's also like your tip. Let's not call it a tip. Let's just say it's your payment for getting this information that you're receiving now, okay? Also, I have some free stuff down below. If you're interested in learning tarot, I have a free tool down there. If you want a free reading, I also have that link down below. Okay, so let's get started. Before, actually, I want to talk about Mercury. This week, we have Mars entering the sign Leo. It is going to officially enter the sign Leo November 3rd at 8:09 p.m. I want you to understand, I have a very detailed video on this already. The link will be down below. It is titled Mars Retrograde in Leo and Cancer. I talk about the horoscopes. I talk about politics and predictions. And I also pull tarot. It is so thorough. It is so detailed. And it's a good video. So go ahead and check that out. But overall, Mars in Leo overall, without it retrograding, it's about bold confidence and self-expression. It's about being creative and being passionate about what you want to achieve. There's leadership. It's a big theme of presidency and charisma, romantic and playful energy, focus on children, dramatic flair, people being huge showmanship. Talk about the drama, talk about the celebrities, talk about the gaudiness of trying to achieve things, okay? But people will be pursuing creative projects or romance and love affairs and leadership roles and their talents, really putting that on stage and being playful and enjoying life and having fun, okay? A lot of comedy and a lot of showmanship for us, like even physical activities and athletes, okay? Now, while it's retrograding, we're going to get some ego clashes. While it's having some bad aspects, you're going to get impulsiveness, fiery energy, a lot of stubbornness, a lot of refusing to budge, need for recognition, and just being over dramatic overall. But, you know, if you want more about that, go ahead and click the link in the bio or go ahead and check out that video on that. Here are the dates for Mars retrograding. Now, November 4th, we do have Mars entering Leo. I am filming this October 29th, and December 6th, Mars will start to retrograde in Leo. January 6th it will still be retrograding. It's going to re-enter Cancer, and then on the 23rd of February, that's when it will be out of the retrograde, but fully, and also re-enter Leo April 17th, but will be fully feeling, not feeling everything by May 1st of 2025. So this is a huge deal, Mars retrograding, and that is why I'm discussing it here, and it's happening this week. But the details of it is bigger, okay? So go ahead and check out that. Now, before I get started, I want to get a word from our sponsor. Hello there, my beautiful souls. I am Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Are you ready to take your spiritual journey to the next level? Introducing Danyell's Astro Tarot Elite Club, your exclusive getaway to daily insights, cosmic guidance, and so much more for just $4.99 a month. As a member, you'll receive daily readings designed to align your day with the universe's energy. Start each day with clarity and confidence. Do you need a personal reading, or do you want to have your astrology chart read fully? With being a member, you also can enjoy exclusive discounts on all my offerings just for our elite members only, all for just $4.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. Join Danyell's Astro Tarot Elite Club today and elevate your spiritual path. The current thing that I did in the group was the new moon in Scorpio. We did it per rising sign, how it's going to affect them, what they can do to manifest, special manifestation rituals. That was the most recent thing. We also do a little conspiracy stuff and, talk about love and friendships, and I get more detailed there, and I can say things that I'm not quite allowed to say here. I say that in a group. A lot of tarot readings, you get your daily readings and all that stuff. You heard what I said, okay, in the commercial. But go ahead and check that out. It is affordable. It is a price of coffee. Now, let's talk about Mercury in the sign Sagittarius. And let me show you these dates here. Now we have November 2nd. It enters Sagittarius at 12:17 p.m. Shadow phase, pre-shadow phase starts November 7th. On the 25th, it will station retrograde, meaning that is when it will fully start retrograding. On the 5th of December, we have a Cazimi. And a Cazimi is when it's at its halfway point, and there's usually clarity, insight, or some big news coming our way. Now, at the same time, it's going to square Saturn and Pisces. I'll address that when I talk about each date. On the 16th, Mercury stations direct. And on January 2nd, we have the post-shadow retrograde phase that will end, okay? Now, let me tell you the main themes of Mercury just in the sign Sagittarius, okay? Mercury is in detriment in Sagittarius, meaning that Mercury, the ruler of Mercury, is Gemini. The opposing sign of Gemini is Sagittarius. So Mercury doesn't really like to be in the sign Sagittarius, okay? While it's in the sign Sagittarius, it's a convincer. There's candid speaking and thinking. There's blunt and honest communication. Sagittarius is very known. The energy is very known for its directness and being very authentic. It could be refreshing to some people who speak their minds, while others can be really offended by this unfiltered opinion or impulsive words, okay? And it's very impulsive energy at the same time. So thinking impulsively, speaking impulsively is what you really get with that Sagittarius energy. Now, cosmopolitan is really a huge word with Sagittarius energy. So Mercury and Sagittarius is going to be more worldly discussions, more traveled kind of energy and thinking. You're talking about people from different countries really discussing, I'm really being intrigued and listening to what they have to say. Also, it's very open-minded kind of energy, wide range of interests, also strong religious convictions. So Sagittarius is all about religion and belief, and you can be fixated on something, even though it's not a fixed sign, but really having a strong, firm belief on a religion aspect could be happening while Mercury's in the sign Sagittarius. Now, also with Mercury in Sagittarius, there's optimism and faith and being really enthusiastic in communication. There's uplifting conversations. Anytime you have a fire sign energy in Mercury, there's uplifting, there's passion and fire, but also just a curiosity with a Sagittarius added and faith-based kind of energy. It's very inspiring, very motivational. It shifts the focus though from details to the broad perspective and what does the world think, or what is the bigger picture, or what are the long-term visions. That's why Mercury doesn't really like to be in Sagittarius, because Mercury wants to focus on the details. You're talking about Gemini and Virgo. It's the ruler of those two zodiac signs. So big picture thinking and visionary and ideas, restlessness and a desire for adventure is what you have when you have Mercury in Sagittarius. So a lot of craving of change and leading to seek knowledge through the firsthand experience, because it's so adventurous and it wants to see it hands-on. And interest in philosophy, spirituality, religion, cultural studies, and big ideas is what you really get when Mercury enters Sagittarius. So get ready for those discussions and worldly events, okay, as well. Now, because you are talking about a detriment to sign in detriment, it does not like being in Mercury. So it will have some difficulty on focusing on details and technical tasks. Mistakes in details are lack of patience, for rigorous kind of analyzing energy. Okay, a tendency to overlook some facts and favor some beliefs. There's impatience with communication with this sign, and exaggeration and overpromising. And Mercury in Sagittarius might overstate their capabilities of doing things and making a lot of false promises, even though the intention is to do the promise, but it's because you made too many. The expectations may be too large to fulfill, and the impulsiveness of the speech, and nothing is planned. Okay, there's arrogant thinking. You could be gullible with this Mercury in Sagittarius. The missionary that knows it all because it's religious and it knows its aspect. There's also a superficial level because it wants to just go over the big things of everything and not go over the details of things. Okay. Yeah, it could be a little self-complacent and condescending kind of style of expression when we are talking to the collective, or when we're watching things on the news, or when we're listening to that broadcaster or that podcast. Yeah, but hypocritical moralist is really what you get with that Sagittarius energy. Okay. Now, while Mercury's in the sign Sagittarius and it's at its detriment, how can we work with this? Okay. You want to practice active listening. Okay. Slow down and double check your facts. Channel energy into learning and adventure. Express ideas with sensitivity. Try not to be too harsh. Okay. Ground some big ideas that are very huge. Take it and say, okay, let's try to make some practical steps towards it. Okay. And it's a great energy before retrogrades, but Mercury in Sagittarius is all about exploring and looking at new topics and new areas of study, and traveling and expanding your horizons, and setting broad goals, or broad intentions or bigger intentions. Speaking with openness and having respect while speaking with it, and uplifting and motivating others in conversations. So Mercury in Sagittarius is great. However, when it starts to retrograde, which will happen, what is the dates again that I have? It will fully start, the retrograde phase will start November 7th, but it will fully start to retrograde November 25th, right? So the themes of Mercury, let me just explain, okay, is communication, expression, your intellect, your thought process, learning. It's the energy of being very curious and having this duality and versatility, because it wants both. It wants it all in a smaller scheme. Like Sagittarius wants it all. So this is going to be a big part with Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius and Mercury in Sagittarius, but very flexible, very logic. It's all about our rational way of thinking. Mercury is also about our commerce and our trade and our travel, our day-to-day travel, and our movements. Okay, and it's also dealing with social connections. So that is why you have the technology with social media and emails and text messages involved with that, because Mercury is in charge of an air sign, Gemini, and that's about socializing. So when Mercury is retrograding in those themes, it's a time for reflection, revisiting, redoing past projects, maybe clarifying some misunderstandings. Now, when Mercury is retrograding in these themes, you're talking about communication mishaps, misunderstandings, technical issues. The emails will get lost. You will mess up with your flight delay. The details are going to get messed up. Social media is not going to work. Internet, technology, all that, mostly in the communication aspect. Okay. Text messages. Double check all your stuff. Okay. Refrain from making announcements or starting any type of new conversations or new topics while Mercury is retrograding. It's a time for reflection and redoing things. Okay. Mental clarity also could be clouded with this, and being indecisive or overthinking. And you want to just revisit some past ideas. Try not to make some new ones. Okay. Learn new skills could be an issue. Okay. You may be feeling challenged to take over something that's longer, or having like a longer class, or learning something that's really huge to learn. That might be difficult when Mercury is retrograding. Okay. So just revisit some old subjects, relearn some things that you already know, revisit a study of an area that you already begun. So do something like that. Changes in plans, unexpected delays. Okay. It is going to test our flexibility. I say ours, okay? I am forced to travel around this time. I would not recommend it if you haven't done already. I already know there may be some mishaps, and I already know that I have to be flexible and let it go and let God, okay? Yeah, so just avoid any type of decision with traveling if you can. But if you have to, then go ahead and do it. Just take your time and just expect the unexpected. Financial transactions, contracts, business communications, all that may have some disruptions or delays, okay? Be patient and have some understanding, because there may be some misunderstanding, especially with negotiations or delaying in any kind of business, okay? Just reevaluate all your contracts. Try not to sign any agreements, revisit financial matters, balance your budgets, or resolve some lingering financial issues that's just kind of hanging over, okay? And remember about the travel. Remember about being prone to a lot of delays, cancellations, mixed up. They messed up on your ticket. They messed up on my ticket. Now we can't go. All that could be happening. Also, misunderstandings with any social media platform, okay? If you are putting something out there and you messed up, or you put a scene there that you don't want to put, all that could be happening. Or maybe if you're just doing too many social medias at the same time, or TikTok and social media, or this platform got mixed up with this platform, all that could be happening while Mercury is in retrograde, okay? So just reflect on anything that you have to redo and move very slow while Mercury's in the sign Sagittarius. Also, when it comes to driving, okay, it might be difficult to juggle multiple tasks and manage complex situations. Prioritize and focus on revisiting tasks instead of starting any new ones, okay? Now, that is just Mercury retrograding, but Mercury in Sagittarius, Sagittarius loves to learn. Mercury retrograde can disrupt that plan of learning, okay? Mercury itself loves to learn and analyze and produce new things to learn and teach. Now, Sagittarius is on a higher platform. Learning across the board could be a problem, okay? It could create restlessness and impatience in your routine, and you might have some things that you're like, you know what, I want some new changes. That could be happening, or maybe there'll be some unexpected changes. Now, Sagittarius is very adventurous, okay? So there's an adventurous spirit, and this may clash with the slower pace retrograde energy. So beware of frustrations with delays, or just trying to be impatient or impulsive, okay? Sagittarius also is about expansion, and expansion in huge things far as business and money. All this could be really slowed down, and misunderstandings around the contracts could be happening. Now, Sagittarius also is ruled by traveling. No, is the ruler of traveling. One of the energies big in traveling. So, and you're talking about traveling worldwide. There is going to be major flight delays, there are major issues with flights. We will be seeing this on the news, especially when Pluto goes in Aquarius, which will happen soon. So we'll see how this plays out. There will be predictions on that, okay, that I will be coming up. I'm telling you, you may feel pulled. Also, being flexible, maybe you'll be maybe you will feel like you are pulled in too many directions, especially Mercury loves to do a lot, and then because it's the ruler of Gemini, and Sagittarius loves to do a whole lot more, okay? So be aware of that. Now, reevaluating your beliefs and your ideals, philosophy, truths, deep beliefs, psychological beliefs, could be happening, especially when it's in the sign Scorpio. Be ready for that. Now, people could be trying to communicate to you from the past. I find that it's mostly people who have Sagittarius energy. So on my Sagittarius placements, you may be getting calls from people out of the blue. Get ready for that. But yeah, the honesty thing is going to be a big part of miscommunication. People being too blunt, overly blunt, exaggerating their communication, or accidentally offending people. That is going to be huge, okay? Also, intellectual energy and reassessing that. Reassessing how you think about things, or how you process things, or what you feel, not really feel, that's more moon, but how you process the information. All that will be reevaluated, okay? And again, this is also dealing with publishing. Mercury is the writer. It likes to write the book. Sagittarius likes to publish the book. So, and this is not just publishing in books, okay? That's just an example, but you're talking about podcasts. You're talking about me being online. You're talking about YouTube, broadcasting, broadcasters, podcasters. All that is going to have some hiccups, okay? So get ready for that. What do you do with that? You just take your time. You be flexible. If the internet's not working today, guess what? I'll let it go and let God and just repeat it tomorrow. And maybe there is a good reason for that. Maybe your notes weren't correct. Maybe you didn't have your agenda ready. There is always a reason why the retrograde is having some issues. Okay. Yeah. But just reflect on your beliefs and your philosophies, revisit any kind of educational goals that you have. Be very flexible. Very flexible, okay? And the intellectual part, if you're reevaluating some things, that's really great far as intellectual things. I find that retrogrades are great periods of time of relearning what you need to do in order to move forward. And these things will be repeated. That's why it's called the retrograde and the RE words. But the reason why it will be repeated, if you notice, it's repeating the steps that you need to do in order to go back and continue moving forward. And you'll see the aspects repeated as I'll talk about the aspects. Speaking of aspects, let me pull them up for you right now. That is annoying that it does that. Anyway, okay, here is the chart here. And you see here I have Mercury in the sign Sagittarius, and it starts November 2nd, right? Now, but we're going to go over the aspects and what's the vibe in the sky. Looking while Mercury's in the sign Sagittarius, while it's retrograding, what do we have to look forward to, okay? So we're going to start with November 6th. And November 6th, we have Mercury, and it's trining the North Node. And soon this is also going to be this grand trine here. Okay, so if we're just talking about the North Node, though, you're talking about positive communication around purpose and personal growth. And it's encouraging us to align to your ideas and the words that is for your life direction and what are you supposed to meant to do in this lifetime, particularly exploring some new beliefs and sharing some insights. Okay, and it's a time of reflecting on how your beliefs shape your life's path. What are you supposed to do? What are you thinking about? What is the big picture? How does this help you become yourself, or releasing this team and helping you with releasing your past partner or a past lover or something with aesthetics and really going for something bold and something new? Okay, that is what that is. But this grand trine now is not just thinking about it and talking the talk, but now you are pursuing and walking the walk. Okay, it's going to be a fire trine. There's passion, there's creativity, there's motivation here. Okay, and it amplifies our confidence, and we're very enthusiastic in pursuing our personal goals and expressing ourselves openly. Okay, ideal energy for assertion, especially when it comes to communication and doing it and really thinking and being impulsive, but in a great way and aligning towards our future. Makes progress for creative and philosophical projects. Powerful time for sharing some bold ideas and taking steps forward toward goals and resonating with your authentic self. This is really great, especially for all our fire signs out there. Okay, it's going to work really good for you. But this trine is very motivational and very inspiring for all of us as a collective. So get ready for that on the 6th. Now, on the 12th of November, we have Mercury, and now it's going to square Saturn in Pisces. And when it squares Saturn in Pisces, you're talking about a challenge and a tension, okay? And a tension between your expansive ideas and limiting ideas, okay? Someone's going to limit your shine. Someone's going to limit you being optimistic. Pessimism is going to come and bring the cloudy judgment on what you are so excited and thrilled to do, okay? Maybe you are going to have to reassess your plans because the details are not really grounded in reality. Okay. The challenge has to be focus with patience, okay, and refine ideas and adjust plans to make them a little bit more realistic for that earth energy, because Saturn is a more realistic kind of energy, and I always say earth because it's the ruler of Capricorn, but it's probably dealing with something with our beliefs because they're both very spiritual and religious. Okay, may also bring unresolved fears around communication and commitment that needs to be addressed here. This is something that could be very much religious based. Our beliefs or spirituality could be a reevaluation of that. Our questioning or reassessing the collective's ideas on their philosophy. Issues regarding freedom of speech could be happening here, or public discord, restriction on education because remember, we're talking about education here, and maybe there is a restriction here. Now, this also could be a restriction with some borders that you cannot see in regards to traveling. That could be happening. Increased scrutiny with social media and media across the board, and journalism and writing, the YouTubers who are doing their live YouTubes and streaming. Something could be happening with that. News sources, social media, public figures could be having some issues when it comes to accuracy of information, or being responsible with information, because Saturn is retrograding, okay? There also could be something dealing with law. Maybe there is a whole thing on borders and illegal immigrants and the law, because this does represent law, okay? Something worldly could be happening here in regards to boundaries and limits and restrictions, okay? Sagittarius also, because it governs law, I do see that immigration, international beliefs, or the legal system, there could be something here, okay? Now, on the 17th, of November, Mercury is going to oppose Jupiter. Now, this is something big when it comes to the news. And, I just think of Tucker Carlson, or people who do like media, or any type of podcaster. This could be huge, okay? But this is the energy of maybe over promising, or maybe someone's leading to be more exaggerated, because this is expansive and now it can't see eye to eye. But this is the ruler of Jupiter, of Sagittarius. And they're both in talking. So this planet here is related to this planet. This one, not that planet, but Gemini is related to Mercury. Sagittarius is related to Jupiter. And now they're in opposite signs in different planets that are relating to each other. So something big with communication, and it can't quite see eye to eye. There needs to be a balance here, and it's not having a balance, okay? So maybe there's some exaggerated news stories. Maybe there's debates over what is honest, what is truthful. Maybe there's fact checking what is accurate could be happening, reevaluating media standards and accountability. Misinformation could be a thing here, okay? And it's huge, okay? Get ready for that. Also, too, debating. A lot of arguments, a lot of debates. Maybe it starts at a debate, could lead into an argument with that fire sign. Get ready for that. Now, on the 18th, it's a little bit more promising. We have Mercury is going to trine Chiron, and when it trines Chiron, it's back to being positive, okay? You're talking about supporting healing through honest communication. Chiron is encouraging us to share our experiences that foster through healing and self-expression, and this energy is going to have some conversations about deep healing of the self, of something new, something something that you're starting in regards to even could be your body or your head. But there is some healing here happening, okay? Now, on November 22nd, Sagittarius, in Mercury in Sagittarius is going to start to retrograde. So actually, on the 20, it's 22. 22 degrees is when it starts to retrograde. Hold up, wait a minute, where is it? Let me actually just do the day. Oh, okay, here we go. On the 22nd, it starts to retrograde, which really is not the 22nd, the 26th. It starts to retrograde at this degree, and again, reevaluate, redo, restructure, all those beautiful things, right? Now, I have my Sabian Symbols book here, and I want to read Sagittarius at 23 degrees, okay? It says immigrants entrance, okay? Trying something new. This could be literal, meaning the immigrant issue could be bigger. So get ready for that. But it's also saying trying something new. This symbol speaks to recognition of opportunity and a willingness to risk or leave the safe and familiar in the home of finding greater freedom and meaning in life. That is what this retrograde is going to start doing. Guard against chasing will-o-the-wisps. I don't know what that means. Don't give up what you have to a value for unknown that simply sounds to appear to be better, okay? This is about pioneering. This is about foreigners. This is about strangers. Reestablishment, resettling, uprooting, entrance, courage, hope, and aspiration, okay? get ready for that. Let's see what this really, how this is going to play out. But seeing that it says immigrants entering, a lot of people, because we have Saturn in the sign Pisces, this is a big issue for a lot of countries, the borders. And now at 22 degrees, it is retrograding. And when you have it retrograding at 22 degrees and that Sabian symbol of immigrants arriving, get ready for that. That's going to be a big doozy. But at the same time, on a positive note, it's saying to be open and try something new. So let's see how that plays out. Now, on December 4th, we have Mercury, and it's going to again oppose, which it already did earlier. And now we are probably going to revisit that news story that was so big. And I wouldn't want to say it's dramatic, but it was a huge story. And it could have been gossip. It could have been, but it's coming back. Okay. This is a second opposition. And now we have the opportunity to revisit whatever the themes that we had November 17th, okay, of having this misunderstanding in a huge way. And it could be involving some broadcasters or people who are telling the news, people who are podcasters of some sort. Okay. And again, I keep just thinking of Tucker Carlson, but that kind of energy. Now on December 5th, we have a Cazimi, and a Cazimi is at 14 degrees. 14 degrees is a Taurus degree, so this represents something we value or money of some sort. Now, in the Sabian symbol, this is about the groundhog looking for its shadow. That means there's reassurance, checking things out, intuition, sensitive to change. There's curiosity, investigation, concern, and predictions here. Okay, I like that. Now, anytime we have a Cazimi, there's an aha moment, there's clarity, there's truth. There is some big news in the news. Okay, breakthroughs. Now, at the same time, this Cazimi is going to square Saturn and Pisces. And now you are going to have to ground this aha moment that it was so big and expensive, and this clarity doesn't look like it's going to be that positive. Let's see how other Kazimis tend to be positive, but let's see how this plays out for the collective in the news. This is mostly going to affect the mutable signs, just so you know. And the mutable signs are the Pisces, the Sagittarius, the Virgos, or the Geminis. This is mostly going to hit. Now, you also have it still, this is somewhat of an apex, a T-pax here, the apex. T square, and then you have this opposition of Jupiter, and again the news, and then here we have Saturn being very negative, being very limited, thinking of long term, maybe some huge delays in something that is happening here. You're talking about personal beliefs, maybe it's being held by someone or being overlooked by some details. This is very sketchy, okay, meaning that it's there's an illusion, there's deceptions, there's cloudy judgment here. And these two things of thinking and communicating is retrograding. So let's see how that's going to be. Greater responsibility in our words and our beliefs, okay? Sobering realizations and limitations might come to face, and limitations, obstacles, or communications. All is going to be very limited and can't see eye to eye, but the focus here is to be grounded. And I really think this could be involving, let's see, immigration of some sort, but definitely huge with news stories and communication, social media, traveling around the world, or just travel, period. Okay. And this is about borders and borders we cannot see. Okay. So yeah, that is what we have now. Then it gets positive on the 13th. On the 13th, we have a grand trine. So we have Mercury again, and then its north node that we already had before, and now we are redoing it again. And then we have that Mars. Now Mars is retrograding in the sign Leo. This is going to be big for Trump, but outside of Trump, for us, a collective, this is about introspection, our past actions, beliefs, and communication patterns. Now it's time to reflect on what we are doing, okay? What are we trying to choose in this lifetime to help us move forward? This is giving us a second chance to redo it. So get ready for that. Now, on the 16th, Mercury will become direct. It will leave that retrograde feeling. However, it will be fully out of the retrograde. Oh, there's a fly here and it just startled me. But it will fully leave the retrograde, I think, January 2nd. Okay. So get ready for that. That is what we have. Now let's talk about politics, and let's talk about Kamala and Trump and how this is going to affect them. Now, should we do Trump first or do Kamala? I always, ladies first, ladies first. Ooh, ladies first. Okay, here's Kamala. And what we have for Miss Kamala is that Mercury, let me actually go back. To where we started. Okay. Mercury in Sagittarius is going to enter that seventh house. The seventh house is all about your partnerships, your public image, open enemies, and your alliances. Okay. And again, she's running for president. However, that's going to end around the 5th, maybe the 7th. I'm not sure. We'll see how that goes because it will be retrograding. Now, this is really huge for Trump in not the best light. Okay. Now, at the beginning, it looks pretty good, but when it starts to retrograde, then you're talking about this literally representing Trump. The support is out of the building, and that is what is going on now. He's getting a lot of support, but that leaves. And now it's just got this Mercury and a lot of discussions, a lot of speeches, a lot of this, but now it's retrograding. And this is literally talking about him. Okay, that is one aspect. So his philosophy, him being optimistic, him not paying attention to details or looking at the bigger picture. This also could be dealing with law. Yeah, just communication and lack of clarity, maybe even social media. All that is going to be affected with Trump because these planets represent him. Okay, now on the same light for Kamala, she may be more the public attention with speeches. All that is going to happen. Now when it hits that retrograde, then she's going to have to redo some speeches. There's going to be lack of clarity, there's going to be fogginess, she's going to be saying some things, she's going to be making false promises, and they're too big for her to fulfill the needs. That most likely will be happening far as her image and what she comes across as. This also is dealing with her alliances and her friends. Maybe they are over promising and she's over promising with her alliances. Let's see how that plays out. Okay, but a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of bluntness and honesty, maybe even regards to how she feels about Tim Waltz, her partner. Let's see how that plays out. Overall, I feel like this is more of an issue for Trump than it is for Kamala. However, it will affect Kamala. Now, okay. So now Mercury is going to square Uranus and her Pluto and Venus, and that is going to happen around the 13th of November. And when that happens, you're talking about that public image and her having some issues with her private matters or having some issues with her home. Candace Owens is always looking at her history and seeing if she is really I don't want to say African American, but just Black. Okay. This might be a big issue when it starts to retrograde, especially if you're talking about her image. There may be something that could be coming around with regarding that. Okay. Disruptions or scrutiny around her roots and her heritage. There may be some transparency that's happening here. So let's see how that plays out for her. Okay. Especially because it's squaring all these things. And this is the reason why Candace Owens, first of all, is looking at her history. You have someone who is on social media investigating her, okay, investigating her mom, investigating what she's saying her image is. And now this is the house that is also about an image. And now it is squaring this investigator or this person who speaks and says a lot of things, okay, on a big, huge scale. And this could possibly mean as well that maybe Candace Owens, her story is going to backfire. Let's see how this plays out for her. I'm thinking it might affect Kamala over Candace Owens, actually. Okay. Now, especially when you have that Kazemi and then you have it redoing itself again. Okay. Now, on the 21st and on January 2nd, because remember, it retrogrades and has to go back to the same thing. Mercury is also going to trine her Mars in Leo. This is great for someone who is going to be the president. The speeches that she's going to give, they might be very aspiring. They're going to be really great. Media interaction, daily communication, very positive in trying to motivate and show that you are a leader, okay, and pursuing her dreams or her, I don't know if it's her dreams, okay, but pursuing her energy of being a leader and her being the president, because this literally represents the president and achieving it. Now, this is all about communication and writing, okay? So that could be happening all that. So this is just great speeches and her looking good while giving great speeches, or maybe even her Tim Watts might be giving some great speeches as well too. Now, also January 6th, Mercury is going to trine her moon in Aries. Again, all about being a leader and a boss, and I can be the president all by myself on a big, huge scale with big ideas. All that is major. It's very positive. Okay, a lot of energy and emotional energy in being her true self as a leader, and her being, I am the first female president. I don't want to say black president because that it might be in question here, but whatever it is, especially Indian, now that is undeniable. But person of color who is a woman being the first is definitely what I see for her. Okay, and I don't want to offend anyone, but I'm just calling it what I see. That is what I see in this chart. So for her, looks very positive. On the negative side, could be negative. Now, for Trump, now let me see, when you have this Kazemi happening for her, yeah, it doesn't hit anything direct here. It is having a connection with her north and south node here. And when you have this connection, it's actually opposing what she's trying to achieve in this lifetime. And she needs to release this worldly kind of adventure, maybe even with a partner of some sort. And maybe some truth will come out with that with her. And let's see how that plays out for her in her future and her dreams of speaking. I keep saying dreams, but her speaking of the future, that could be a misalignment. But the retrograde ends at 22 degrees, so it starts to get there and then it starts to move forward. So let's see how that is. Now let's talk about Mr. Trump here. And for Trump, we have that Mercury. Let me pull up his chart actually. So for Trump, Mercury in Sagittarius is transitioning in his 5th house here, and looks pretty positive for as being a leader and saying some speeches. When it's direct, he's going to feel energized. He's going to be very bold about his message and really expressing his true self, as if he needs to do that any more than what he does. Now, when it starts to retrograde, now there's scrutiny about him reevaluating his public image and reassessing his tactics, or revisiting some statements about his true identity and who he is and how he comes across to others. Okay. Now, this is also the house of romance. This is a house of children. All that could be a thing too. So I just want you to know. Now, November 9th, but I find that it's really his true expression of how he really expresses himself. Also, I feel like it's in regards to leadership, and now it's retrograding because this is Leo energy too. It kind of resonates with Leo energy. So you have that happening in his 5th house. There may be discrepancies with his messaging. Let's see how that goes on. And that is on the 9th because it's going to quincunx his Mercury, and then it's going to revisit that a little bit later. While it's retrograding, it doesn't quite come off correct. Now, on the 10th of November, and that was the beginning of November, but on the 10th of November and then December 8th, Mercury is going to trine Pluto and Mars in that 1st house. So you're talking about having some power in speeches, and it starts off very positive for him. With that, I smell popcorn. Someone has like real popcorn, they're popping popcorn. Anyway, but supportive energy is what you have with the trine, and you're talking about power, and you're talking about his 1st house of how he comes across as a leader. And I know this is November 10th, and this is after we vote. So it's very positive for him. I did a prediction video on if he's going to win presidency. Go ahead and check that out. So, but there's power in speeches right here, and power in achieving transformation and leadership when it comes to speeches. Now, on November 8th, 18th, I'll actually go back. On November 18th here, and this again is going to happen December 3rd, we have an opposition. right? So now it's opposing this energy of, first of all, his nodes, his north node, and Uranus. And when it's in opposition of Uranus, you're highlighting tensions between the internet, his public party, his friendships, his future, his hopes and dreams, some unexpected surprises, and even the party of where he is. That could be happening, or maybe even the Democratic Party could be happening here. It's not seeing eye to eye. There needs to be a balance. And then on November 20th here, we have Mercury opposing that north node. As I was saying, now whatever he's saying is not going towards his future. Okay, he has personal ambitions. However, it's not seeing eye to eye from the things that are being said, the news that's being said, or what he is saying out of his mouth. Okay, now on the 25th of November, we have that is going to quincunx Saturn, is going to quincunx Venus. Now, what he's saying not only is going towards not working really good with his future, but now this could be the news, this could be what he is saying himself, or it could be social media, or even maybe traveling of some sort. But now there is tensions between his support and restrictions, okay, and long-term goals or long-term things in regards to him being safe. This could be a thing. Now, I do want you to understand that this 12th house represents secret enemies. So there could be a news out about a death of something or the ending of something. It could be an ending of his presidency. And now it's like, just say your speeches. You don't want to say, you're uncomfortable in saying them, and you need to just say goodbye and just sit down kind of energy. That could be happening in the supporters. Longtime supporters, okay? Looks like they have here in the House of America, longtime supporters, that would be coming to the end for them, okay? That is just one of the things that I see. There's multiple things to see. There could be reflection time, bringing emotional introspection. Tensions may arise between his public image. That could be happening. Yeah, also you have this conjunct the moon. So there's emotions heavily involved with this in the sign Sagittarius. So him feeling optimistic, him trying to conquer the world. At the same time, this emotion, he feels quite uncomfortable of the endings of something, okay? Now, December 5th, we have a Kazemi happening for him and for the collective. And a Kazemi could bring a brief sense of clarity for him and for the collective, or maybe unexpected realizations, because he still has this opposition with Uranus. So expect the unexpected, especially when it comes to social media. I find that Uranus, especially in the sign Gemini, is a lot of things with social media. And you see, you still have this Jupiter sitting in this opposition here for him. And then you have this T square of Saturn. Saturn is in a house of death. Saturn is in a house of taboo. Saturn is in a house of intimacy and sexuality, loans, all this, taxes. There's some type of challenge here. While it's in this Kazemi, big news for him. Okay. Yeah. So that is what I have for Trump. Now we are going to get into the horoscopes. Now, for the horoscopes, I do recommend that you look at your sun, moon, and rising to get a full collective reading on your whole collective, a full scope on your reading, okay? Now, we are going to start with Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Mercury is going to go in your 9th house of higher learning and travel and philosophy. Traveling may be an issue for you guys, okay? Religious things will be a theme for you guys. There may be delay with traveling. Maybe you're reconnecting with someone from your past who is worldwide. That could be happening. A lot of discussions on philosophy and your theory. If you're trying to learn something, you might have some cloudiness with that, okay? There will be December 5th that Kazemi that's happening, and you may gain insight into how you experience and shape your worldview, okay? That could be happening for you. So annoying. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to pull up the chart and look at the chart here. You will be having that T square, the opposition with Jupiter in that 3rd house, and the aha moment with something dealing with communication in a big way. Also could be dealing with learning. There's something that's coming to an end, and it's restricting you, or something that you can't quite see, because your Saturn in that T-square is in that 12th house of things that you cannot see. So yeah, be aware of that, you guys, and I will see you guys. No, well, let me pull some tarot for everyone. Let me stop. Okay. For Aries, we have justice. Oh, yeah, could be something dealing with law, something that's not fair. There's an imbalance here, but makes me think there could be something with law happening with you guys, okay? With this Sagittarius energy. Don't be scared. Everything will balance out, especially when it gets out of retrograde. I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Taurus, let's see what we have for you. Now, Mercury is going to enter your 8th house, and this is all about some deep conversation. This is about healing, shared resources, finances, intimacy, psychology, things that are very taboo. It's also dealing with some mystery, okay? Now, when a Kazemi comes in and it's retrograding, you have to redo all these things or reevaluate these things when it is in that 8th house, okay? So retrograde, maybe some unresolved issues with your finances, with a partnership or emotional connections may come back to the surface, reassessing how you manage your shared resources, making space for some healing and some past wounds. When you have the Kazemi, the truth will come to the light for you guys. Also, you have that T-square. Jupiter is in your 2nd house of what you value and your resources. Yeah, and that's retrograding, and it can't quite see eye to eye with this Kazemi of this truth or this new story or this aha moment. At the same time, there is a challenge here. There is a challenge here in regards to limits, and it could be limits with your friendships or some type of network. Maybe there's a limit with your hopes and dreams in the future or technology, okay? Now, the card that we have for you, Taurus, is the 5 of Pentacles. You're thinking in lack, you're not thinking in abundance, and that is probably what's going to happen when it's with Mercury retrograde. You will be thinking very negative. Be aware of that, because there's always finances, and what you value is always interchangeable energy. It's not in a constant state of staying poor or staying in lack. You have to think positive, and you have to also go for support, okay? I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Geminis, Mercury is going to enter your 7th house in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, this is all about communication and honesty in regards to your partnerships or collaborations. Maybe you have an open enemy, and they are now have a lot of things to say. Now, when it's retrograding, there's miscommunication with your partnerships. There's miscommunication in the way you are coming across to people with your aesthetics. It's coming off kind of like too big or too grandiose, okay? Especially when you're speaking and being very blunt, you can hurt their feelings. Now, the Kazemi is going to bring clarity in regards to some relationship of some sort. Now, when we have this T-square for you, it is happening in your 10th house, okay? Saturn's in your 10th house, and this is all about your career and your work or your public image, and it can't quite see eye to eye with your partnership. Could be a business partnership and yourself. Jupiter is in that 1st house, and you're really talking about yourself and being yourself. You also are a Gemini rising like Kamala, okay? We have the Devil card coming your way. It looks like there's materialism. It looks like you are trapped in trying to be the greatest of all time with that Saturn in that 10th house, and there's going to be delays and restriction because you are trying to be the best. The Devil card is also like someone who's imprisoned with trying to be the best, okay? Be aware that I'm thinking you are trying to be the GOAT. And you got to release that, okay? You are human. Don't try to be perfect. You want to live a little. You want to be open to the relationship. And also, it's not helping yourself. So find a balance between yourself and a relationship, okay? And release this energy of trying to be perfect and be the best, and these goals that you're trying to achieve for the long run. That could be having some causing some disharmony. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Cancers. Mercury in retrograde in Sagittarius, or Mercury just in Sagittarius, is going to be in your 6th house of health, work, and daily routines. So this will be a major discussion for you. How are you working out? What are your work habits? What is your day-to-day routine? What are you cleansing out? What are the philosophies that you are trying to diminish here? Because this is a house that likes to diminish and organize here. Organizing your thoughts, organizing your travels. Okay. Now, on the 5th, you can gain clarity on your routines and your habits, or your support and your well-being, or maybe discussions with your coworkers. A lot of coworkers with discussions. Be aware of being too honest to your coworkers. Okay. Now, when I look and see this T square action here, it is happening in your ninth house of travel and learning. And it's not quite seeing eye to eye with things that are your introspection or your spirituality, or things of death or endings. There is a limitation on your philosophy and how you think and your coworkers. Okay. Let me pull a card for you guys. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is someone who is very focused on their money, very focused on your work. So I think that focus on your work needs to be a little chill, and maybe there needs to be time of self-reflection happening for you guys. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leos, Mercury in Sagittarius is going to retrograde in that 5th house of creativity, romance, and self-expression. You're really going to feel like yourself. You're really going to be like, I want to talk about myself, and I want to have playful energy, maybe plan some things or travel and really do it with myself and have a lot of fun with my children with traveling. Now, with it retrograding, old creative projects or maybe an old past romance may come reconnect with you. That could be happening. And then you have that Kazemi happening, and there's an aha moment for this romance. Now, this is not a long-term romance. Let's be very clear. Now, when you have this T square that is going to happen for all my Leos, this Saturn and restriction is in a house of very deep in psychology, also mysteries. There is could be an older figure or something with finances, and there's restriction with joint resources that could be happening, and it's no fun for you. You're like, this is not fun, or this is restricting my children. Also, there is an energy of having fun with your friends, and you can't see eye to eye. You just want to express yourself, and then there's your friends over there, and they want to do something, and they're on social media showing you all the fun they have. That is what I think, because Jupiter and Gemini, social media. What we have for you is the 3 of Swords. It looks like there's a heartbreak of some sort. Now, the 8th, Saturn in that 8th house could actually represent an ending of something, but it actually represents a rebirth. And there could be some heartbreak said with words, especially maybe when you're talking to your children. Be aware of that, or maybe with the romance of some sorts. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgos, Mercury in Sagittarius is going to retrograde in your 4th house. This is about your home, your family, your foundations, where you feel safe. Something about your past and your history and your legacy in the past. That could all be coming back up for you, okay? Family issues, home projects. Maybe you got to review that, or reassessing some boundaries and reconnecting with some family members. All is going to come to the light. There is going to be an aha moment for you December 5th in regards to those things that I just mentioned. Now, when we look at this T square, it's happening in your relationships. There's a restriction in your relationships, or your open enemy, or something with an image of an aesthetic of some sort, or maybe even dealing with art, right? And it's restricting, this partnership is restricting something of your home and causing some type of challenge with the opposition here of your work and your career, and you really trying to be on stage and your public persona. We have some heartbreak here. We have the 4 of Cups here, and I'm just looking at the card because it's so different from my normal tarot. And usually this means like this card, the person is really sad and emotions are really going down, but this is someone who's not grateful for something. God is giving them an opportunity and are not grateful for it. And or maybe you're only looking at the few things you have and not looking at what God's giving you. You also could be bored of some sort, okay? Especially with Mercury in Sagittarius. And Mercury in that 4th house makes me think that you are sad emotionally about something at home, and you're not being very optimistic, and you're being pessimistic. So be aware of the negativity and change that into love and compassion instead of looking in lack, okay? But yeah, very emotional time for you guys, but you want to stay positive and you want to always think in abundance and love, okay? I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, all my Libras, Mercury and Sagittarius is going to retrograde in your third house. This is all about communication and learning. Communication and learning could be dealing with some siblings, could be dealing with your community and your neighbors, but I want you to be very aware. Mercury in Sagittarius is already about your community and it's all about socializing, okay? Yeah, but communication and learning is going to be huge with you. So let's see how this plays out. Remember, December 5th, there'll be a Kazemi in the house and there will be a aha moment for you. Now, when you have this T square, you're talking about the Kazemi and it's opposing Jupiter in a ninth house. And the ninth house is all about education and higher learning. So I think there is going to be an issue here in regards to you learning at home about something, about a bigger university kind of level learning, and there's limits here in regards to your work. So it's as if your job is not letting you take these higher classes. You have the 10 of swords, and this is someone who feels like they've been stabbed in the back, especially with words, especially with that aha moment and the Kazemi happening for you. And this is a time to release the pain. This is also a time that it's almost over. This is the end of the journey. So the pain that you are feeling, and you're finally saying, like, you know what, I'm going to release this negative words off of my back, this pain that is physically causing me. I wonder if you are stressed at work some way, but it's maybe you're stressed with the higher learning. Whatever it is that this is going to be the end of it, okay? You have now reached the dusk before dawn, okay? Dawn is about to come. That is the best thing about that card, okay? I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oops. Okay. All of my Scorpios, welcome. We have Mercury and Sagittarius entering your second house of finances and self-worth. You are going to be reevaluating this in a big global scale. Are you making money across the pond? Okay. Mercury and Sagittarius inspires you to have new ideas with your finances and with your self-worth. You're being very optimistic. And when it's retrograding, now you're overlooking the details of finances. Also, when you have that Kazemi, it's going to, in December 5th, it's going to give you an aha moment in regards to that. Now, you also have it opposing in that eighth house of shared finances here. So what you value and maybe your partner values is not quite working. And then you have limitations of you really truly expressing yourself or having fun. It's like you can't have fun because of your finances, okay? This clarity is going to come. The truth is going to set you free. You're going to enjoy this Kazemi, okay? So look forward to the Kazemi and at the heat of all the chaos. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius. This Kazemi, of course, this Kazemi, Mercury is retrograding in your first house in Sagittarius. Okay, and this is all about your identity, your personal goals, and your self-image. That's all going to be like speeches. Everyone, listen to me. Now, while it's retrograding, you're going to reflect on your self-image, reevaluate your personal goals, reconnect to parts of yourself that you're overlooking, or reconsidering how you present yourself to the world in regards to words and what you learn and your philosophies and maybe even your religion. Okay, now on December 5th there will be a clarity on your vision board, okay, and how you vision yourself, your personal goals, and your identity. Now the T squared that we have for you guys is that there's limitations at home, and it's causing you not to see eye to eye within your partnerships. So be aware of that, your partnerships versus you, and some restriction that you have at home or something from your past. We have the Three of Cups. You're being supported though. This Sagittarius energy is still going to work out for you. There's a lot of love and support backing you. And also too, when there is an issue, you maybe want to seek a support group. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Capricorns, we have Mercury retrograding in the 12th house for you in spirituality, solitude, and subconscious. The retrograde brings issues that could be hidden, unresolved emotions, asking you to reflect on your past. This is a time of releasing what no longer serves you and deepening your spirituality and understandings. Now, you will have this aha moment or clarity, hopefully happening December 5th. But remember, it is there is something restricting you. there's something restricting you in your third house of communication. It's like you can't say it, or it's your community, or maybe there's some day-to-day travels, like your car's messed up, and it's affecting you having going to work or your coworkers in some sorts. Okay. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. There could be a message come your way in regards to money. Maybe you're curious on starting some money, but there is a focus here on tangible items, and it's just starting. And there could be a message for the tangible items. And I'm thinking it's something from work that you will be getting a message for. And maybe this aha Kazemi moment will help you balance that out. Okay. Yes, that is what I have for you. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, I didn't press Capricorns. That was for my Capricorns. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Aquarius, Mercury is retrograding in your 11th house of friends, social networks, and aspirations. Retrograde may bring old friends from the past back, or old network, or maybe it's something with your friendships and you're being a little bit too blunt, okay? Reassessing a role in your social group also could be a thing here. There will be a Kazemi on the 5th, and there's going to bring clarity in your friendships or your hopes and dreams, or the bigger picture for long-term hopes and dreams, aspirations. Now, for this T-square that we have for you guys, it is happening. You can't see eye to eye with your self-expression or maybe a romance and yourself in regards to friends. And then there is limitations in what you value in your tangible items. We have that there will be new spark for you, okay? You will be motivated with this whole Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius. There'll be new drive, new passion, new ideas, and creativity for you. So look out for that, all right? I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces, Mercury is retrograding in your 10th house of career and public image and your legacy. Okay, how are you on the stage? Well, now you got to redo some things and reevaluate maybe your career plans, reassess some long-term goals, reconnect with past mentors, and refine your professional image. Now, the Kazemi is going to happen in that 5th house, and it's going to bring you some clarity in regards to the things that I just mentioned earlier. Now, it's opposing things in your 4th house at home, your career versus home, your career versus what you're safe, your career versus your past. Be aware of that, because there is also a limitation that you have on yourself that's affecting these two things, and you need to focus on yourself. We have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, this is someone who's very passionate and creative and very nurturing and loving of the self, at the same time being bold and courageous. Yeah, very fiery energy, very passionate, at the same time very compassionate, and is the leader and a master of this situation. Okay, far as inspiration and yeah, I feel like you may be giving some very inspiring things at work. However, you need to really have a lot of self-love and confidence. Okay, Pisces, I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you guys for watching. And the next video, I gotta see, I might be just doing a tarot reading because we are in Scorpio season and it's very deep. Oh, but I will be doing a live reading and answering all our questions because we have great aspects in regards to intuition and spirituality. Okay, that might be the next video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.